Hello, hello, hello. All right, we're gonna go live very quickly. Like I said earlier today, I'm just logging in over here, or not logging in, but pressing live. Let's get this started. I'm not gonna stay live long. That's hilarious. This one has me in. Why does it have me? That's hilarious. Okay, not that much. That's too much. It had me like close up. Let me fix it. And I'm waiting for some of you to come in. All right, let's see what it's doing now. Okay, now you see that? It's giving me real-time vibes. You see that? Okay, it's better now. All right, I just didn't want to have to do this more than once, so I'm actually literally going to put the phone side by side. Side by side, honey. Side by side, honey. And get this done. Sorry, y'all. Thought I was ready. I'm actually going live with this part. I decided to do it in my apartment as opposed to the rooftop lounge. All right, so come on in, come on in, come on in. I am Tigress Sydney Acute McDaniel, Juris Doctorate, PhD, ABD in Applied Science and Technology, conferred expertise in wetland bioremediation, hazmat certified, OSHA certified, all the certifieds, all the letters, MFA equivalent, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, she is blackity black, 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 blackity black, black, black. Yeah. And proud to be. All right, so on a serious note, however, I gave a little levity for my introduction only because some of y'all, even my beautiful black, beautiful people, some of y'all, your devaluation of education is an abomination. Yeah, it's an abomination. But anyway, here's the deal, Phil. I have learned that there was a chemical compound that was in the medication that I was given, and that chemical compound I have an allergy to. And it was just discovered and confirmed 2 days ago through allergy testing. They had to work their way up to it and plan scientifically, because it was effectually an experimentation, because this was a drug that I had not ever been introduced to before. Ironically enough, it's in the nebulizer solution that I have very typically, and anyone who suffers with asthma or who's had respiratory issues, or if you've ever had a nebulizer treatment for any other reason, then you know it's albuterol generally. And it is like there are no contraindications generally for albuterol. It's that safe to use, and even if you abused it, you still would not end up generally with anaphylaxis. The nebulizer solution at the doctor's offices did not contain this chemical compound, and instead this chemical compound was in the same albuterol or nebulizer treatment solution at the pharmacy. So it is unclear as to how the pharmacy had the medication with this chemical compound in it, and it wasn't in the doctor's offices. The reason being is this. There are studies, so since we've been discussing it since I returned home on February 29th, some of you are aware that I was on February 23rd, I experienced anaphylaxis after administering a nebulizer treatment at home as directed by the doctor. And I woke up from medical paralysis and intubation 3 days later and was told that I almost died. And people in that situation, people who experience that to that extent, having to be medically paralyzed and intubated, the statistical findings have shown that most of those individuals end up with brain damage. In fact, everyone on my floor, except me, had suffered brain damage from similar anaphylaxis or respiratory distress, and I did not. And for that, I am immensely grateful to my Creator, and I am especially grateful to my mother, who taught me holistic health, and that has definitely translated especially well into my livelihood and my ability to recover therefrom. So if you're listening, then you know, if you have followed me for a while, you also know that this voice is voicing. Yes, this voice is voicing. It was not voicing 2 months ago, if you all recall. And it was something else. It was something else. I try not to be concerned, but I was concerned about my singing voice. I can sing. I mean, well, we knew I could sing. That's not what I'm saying. Like, I have been restored completely. There's no one like my Gemini. There's no one quite like him. So yeah, the voice is voicing, and I hope to get back in the studio by the end of the year. But your girl is, y'all be doing all this GoFundMe for everybody else. But you know, I don't even want to talk about it right now, because I have tried to start a GoFundMe for above ground railroad. Somebody came for my neck and they shut my above ground railroad down. I imagine it was like racist white folk or whatever, because above ground railroad is all about empowerment for disenfranchised Black communities and our allies, right? But your girl, as you can imagine, like, for a period, like, I was trying to get my life back, like literally recovering. So what work was I going to do? So finances are not financing. But it's okay. I'm just trying to beast it out. I am in pursuit, and was already in pursuit, because some of you know that I am now pursuing my license to practice law, having graduated from law school and having my Juris Doctorate conferred. The next step is, of course, to sit for the bar, and also to law clerk for at least 1 year. And so that's what she's doing. I have not landed a position yet. I kind of slowed down on my applications because I needed to make sure that, like, I was going to be like, this recovery was full, that there weren't going to, and the same thing with the doctors. They've been running so many tests. I've had so many visits. It's been a process, but I feel amazing. Shout out to my doctors. Thank you so very much for taking exceptional care of me. Thank you so much for listening to me. I really appreciate the fact that they respected my expertise, the irony, because this brain didn't suffer any damage. They were listening to me and respected the fact that I was a fellow scientist, effectually, and they respected my input, my analysis, and that's what led us to testing to see if I was in fact allergic to that solution, because it was the one thing that was not like all the others, right? One thing is not like the others. One thing is not quite the same. But yeah, so that thing tried to snatch my whole life. It tried to snatch. It tried to snatch my whole life, and I just, like, I'm trying my best not to cry. I took a day off. So my visit was on Thursday. Y'all, so basically they had to do a skin test, right? And they did all the controls and you know, all the scientific method was employed. And my skin lit up on both the histamine, you know, and the chemical compound. And they were really concerned because they thought maybe if a little drop didn't, you know how if you have allergies or if you've ever experienced respiratory issues and you've undergone testing for allergies, then you know they normally do the skin test, the elaborate one, for all the different types of allergens on your back. Me and my son have had that done now twice in our lifetimes, both of us. And that's a very elaborate process and extremely uncomfortable if you have allergies, because now you basically have your back is lit up like a Christmas tree from being inflamed and reacting allergic reaction to these allergens that they're testing. And so basically that's what they did. And like I said, my arm lit up like a Christmas tree. Fire, fire. Boo, boo, boo. Alert, alert. Ring the alarm, you know? And so initially their concern was, okay, we may have to use different iterations of, of higher and higher concentrations of the chemical compound if your body doesn't respond initially, so that we can get to the bottom of this. But we got to the bottom of it immediately because my body said, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? And so it was so good to find that information out so that I knew, because I'm not trying to be that person. So do not misunderstand what I'm saying when I say this, okay? Because I've spoken out about this. And you have to understand where I'm coming from. And if you listen with your heart and with truth, then you'll understand where I'm coming from. Nobody deserves asthma within reason. The point that I'm making is, if you're a smoker and you're doing all the wrong things for, like if you're taking all these health risks and you don't give a shit about your health and you're doing all this stuff and like you're just living recklessly when it comes to your lungs and your health, I'm saying that your consequences are not exactly off base. I have been fit my entire life. I have been holistic my entire life. I don't do all that stuff. I live my life very intentionally. My body is a temple. You've seen me. You can go all the way back in all of my history and you will find I have no history of smoking. I have no history of abusing drugs. I have no history of even recreational drugs. I'll be full transparency. Once upon a time, I even tried to smoke weed, honey. And my body said, bitch, bye. And I literally, boop, and that was done. And I did it in the safe company of people that I trusted, but it was just, and that was when I was like 23 or something like that. I had actually, was it 23? I don't know, it was in my 20s. Y'all know your girl is fine, fit and fine at 47. So that was a long time ago. The point I'm making is that I don't deserve asthma. And I can say that out loud. I'm just saying, I don't deserve asthma. Damn it. But of course, a lot of us don't deserve the conditions, the medical conditions that we, may present themselves in our life at different periods, stages of our life, because of different, biochemical changes. And that's something that became an issue for me around 2010, 2011. And it's been generally well managed, you know what I mean? Like we thought, okay, nasal polyps, and so that was addressed. That was a pretty big issue because I had to undergo surgery to have the nasal polyps removed. Then it was like, okay, it's this, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I believe that I suffered the nasal polyps as a result for poor health care when I was wrongfully imprisoned. Okay? And everybody be like, you know, not, I shouldn't say everybody. I'm talking about the everybody dummies, the haters, the racist judges, the racist attorneys, the corrupt people that try to come for me, right? I'm talking about them, the idiots. The idiots, let's see here. Those individuals, they're like, oh, you sued for everything. I didn't sue for that. There's several things that, like, for me, if I don't have an airtight case, like if I don't know that I already have a prima facie case, and that prima facie just means on its face. That means that, like, the defendants won't have any viable defense against the claims that I make, right? And I'll call them averring. That basically means these are asserted declaration statements, truths, facts. I don't allege. I know when I'm filing a lawsuit, I know I have document. I'm going there to get relief. Here it is, open shut. Let's do it. Okay, and that's why they don't like me, because that means that I'm going to almost necessarily win all my cases if I am bringing forth indefensible cases. If you can't defend against my case, of course you're gonna hate me. Well, why you be like, I love Tigress because she brought the truth to court and made me look like an idiot. Okay, but anyway, so the point I'm making here is that fast forward, and y'all know how I am. This, again, the brain is braining, and so I can digress and be Tigress and get right back on the topic. And so basically, what I'm getting at is that the day after, y'all, I know some of y'all, please be impressed in a loving and spiritual way and root me on and like give me some love in the comments, because this is seriously a testament to the Creator's just infinite magnitude. Do you understand how much I could have lost? Y'all, I have been pursuing my education, since my advanced education, since I started 1994 at UNC Chapel Hill. I could have lost the knowledge from my bachelor's of science, the student teaching that I did, the internships that I did, all the work that I did on North Carolina A&T's farm, the pioneer work that I did for wetlands and managing hog farms and managing hog waste, which was a huge issue in North Carolina back then. I was part of the scientists who made strides and developments to mitigate pollution and make great strides in sustainability practices on hog farms as it relates to using wetlands to clean up effectually, to stabilize swine waste and other agricultural waste. Do you understand? That was just that 4-year period for my bachelor's. Then we get my master's of economics. Then you add on my PhD studies in applied science and technology. Then you add on my Juris Doctorate. I could have lost all of that or portions of that. And I have it all. And then some. I know it sounds crazy, and I'm not trying to be that person, but I feel like I actually, I woke up clearer. For all my Jamaicans out there, I woke up clearer. My Creator's acting up. My Creator's acting up. But anyway, so coming off of this allergy test, they also wanted to, which I thought was really, really wise, and I really appreciated my doctor for having the forethought to plan ahead for that. She's like, okay, we know now that chemical compound in that nebulizer solution, we got to stay away from that. So she flagged all the medical records, which are now integrated, electronically, the systems, right? Novant, Atrium, whatever. Don't do it. Not for her. Alert. Ring the alarm. Boom, boom, boom. Right? Okay, so then she says, this is the point I'm making about being proactive. She says, okay, let's go ahead and let's administer an albuterol treatment, a breathing treatment, while you're here in the office. Make sure there's nothing else about this breathing treatment that can be a detriment to you. Please understand, I realized that I had so much anxiety, so much trauma from that situation. As soon as they turned on the albuterol, the nebulizer machine, I was shaking uncontrollably. She actually even put it in the notes. I read the notes the next day, and she's right. I was shaking uncontrollably. So they had me they set up the nebulizer treatment, and some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. So it'll be this container, right? And it's hooked up to a machine that effectually administers it through a steam inhalation, right? So it's going to, condense, because it's not going to, evaporation means what? It's actually going to, change from liquid to gas, right? So you can either, it looks like it's condensing, and there's an evaporation so that you can inhale, the albuterol treatment, right? And so they didn't, with me shaking uncontrollably, they said, okay, we can't give this all to you at one time because we don't want you to have an anxiety attack. And I admittedly have had, I would say, 2 anxiety attacks since I've been home, but I had already asked the doctors, because I had an anxiety attack while I was hospitalized after I awoke from being medically paralyzed and intubated. And in being a whole scientist, I had conversations with my doctor to understand how this would present so that I could manage, myself holistically and employ my yoga breathing techniques to calm down and understand what it was and not overreact and believe that it was something else. So basically, here I am in there, and they're running this test, and basically what they did is they gave me 1 minute's worth of doses, and I had to inhale. Y'all, the nurse was like, Tigers, I need you to inhale. I was sitting there like this. I had it in my mouth, and my brain was like, girl, you did. And Tigers, just go ahead. We're right here with you. Because I was like, I do not want anybody in their right mind. Like, I don't want to go into another state of anaphylaxis, because I was in and out of consciousness, and it resulted in that. And they had administered 2 EpiPens, and nothing was working. I don't think y'all are understanding this. Nothing was settling me down. In fact, let me explain it this way. So your eosinophils are your white blood cells. The white blood cells are the ones that say, those are the soldiers that say, yo, something's up. Ring the alarm, boop, 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 right? So my eosinophils, your normal range is like 900 and under, right? Mine were at 1800. The medical records from the doctor's notes, when I arrived with ENT, my eosinophils, EOSINOPHILS, were at 1800. So I was not I'm like the scene in Harlem Nights. And I could feel myself pretending to inhale like I was fooling anybody in there that was, monitoring me or whatever. And so basically the first dose didn't go very well. And I mean, in the sense that I wasn't really trying to breathe. I'm not breathing in it. I'm not trying to inhale. You inhale it. You inhale it. I love y'all so much for helping me be better, but you inhale it. I'm not inhaling that. And this is no slight to anyone who has suffered from thoughts of suicide. but I have not ever suffered with the thoughts of suicide. So the very thought of inhaling, ingesting anything that would do harm to me is astronomically traumatizing. Okay? So basically, the second time came around, they were like, okay, Tigress, we really need you to do that. And the doctor had to come back in, like, we need you to do it because, well, no, it wasn't the doctor. It was still the nurse. She was like, we need you to do it because this is how we're going to know. But this is what the doctor said before she left out and brought in the nurse. Second time, I finally started inhaling. And like I said, they did increments of this for like 1 minute each for like 3 minutes. And if you've ever done this before, like it's only that much solution, but that joint takes like 20 minutes to administer the entire breathing treatment. So here I am having anxiety over ingesting, inhaling the breathing treatment generally, but then I'm also starting to develop anxiety as it relates to how much fucking longer do I have to do this? So I was like, okay. I said, look, mind over matter. I had to get myself together. I said, okay. I think it was the third 1 minute dose. And I was like, look, I'm ready. I'm going to go as long as I can so we can get this done. Because this is freaking me out. And they would have to, and each time they did it, they had to monitor me for some time after each dose to make sure that there was no adverse reaction. So basically, I then did 6 minutes. And then I was able to do the last bit. I think she said it took like 2 or 3 minutes or something like that. Hold on, y'all, because one is lagging. Okay, just wanted to make sure. I didn't want to keep going because remember, I'm recording live on Facebook as well, and it lagged for a second. And I do hope you all are well. I really do. Hello, hello. I'm waving back at some of you. Hello, hello. Hello. Yeah. So the day after, look at that brain braining. We going back. I can circle back and jump. Honey, I can Simone Biles when it comes to cognition. I can't do what she could do physically. I can't do that. But cognitively, I'm Simone Biles out this bitch. But so the day after that, because I had started crying in the office. Like I had all the emotions. I got home, I tried the next day when I awoke, because I went live, I literally awoke, and it wasn't physically that I couldn't get out of the bed. I was done for. I was exhausted, emotionally and spiritually exhausted, even though it was still very much so good news. I was just like, I have to take the day off. I can't do nothing. And that has carried over pretty much for the weekend. Like, I have been slowly working back into doing things and posting and trying to figure out things. And I'm very thankful. All right, like I said, I'm not going to be here long. It's 6:19. So here's the other update. So that's very good information. We now know what happened to me. And full circle, let me go back and complete this thought as well. So what I was referring to when I said I don't deserve asthma, or I'm fit as a fiddle and all the things and holistic and blah, 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 blah. I must admit that it was also very reassuring to find out that there was a chemical compound or major allergen to which I had an allergic reaction, had anaphylaxis, as opposed to it being some deficiency in my nutritional health or my pulmonary health or something like that. Like, that was very reassuring news. So now next steps I'll keep you informed as things go on. But yeah, that's that. So now we know what happened. Stay away from it. It is called, some of you want to know, and of course, I am going to be doing the work to reach out to the FDA. I am going to be doing the work to make sure to reach out to the ER doctor who actually prescribed it to me, because I don't think that the ER doctor realized it, because again, in the hospitals, the nebulizer solution does not have this ingredient. And here's another full circle articulation from my statements. The FDA, the fact that the pharmacist had it still on the shelf is amazingly interesting, because the FDA did announce, or at the very least, because it's publicly promulgated, so that's why I'm saying announce. They didn't make any formal announcements that I've been able to discover, but there are studies that show that this chemical compound causes life-threatening reactions for people. Like, I'm not it. Like, I'm not the only one. It is called edetate disodium. So be very, very careful of that. It's EDETATE disodium. It is a preservative, and it ain't good for a lot of us. So keep that in mind. All right. Okay. And my doctor gave me a list of medications that it's in, or that has been historically used in at one time or another. The particular manufacturer is Sun Pharma. They're out of India, but they, by way of New Jersey, here locally in the States. I think I'll just put the list up that she gave me. It's nothing that I generally take, and ironically enough, as it relates to one particular medication that's very, very popular, very, very common, OTC, the irony is that I'm always telling people, if you have to take any type of Western medicine or OTC, including the OTC, right? Do not take the ones with the color. Like, don't take any medication with dye. Don't take it with preservatives. Always get the generic brand, because the generic brand is not going to have dyes. The generic brand is not going to have any preservatives. It's just going to be the active ingredient. And guess what it's in? Tylenol PM, with the combination of Benadryl and Tylenol and edetate disodium. All right, so, but thankfully the only Tylenol that this household has taken, because my son doesn't really take Tylenol. He doesn't like, he's never really had a need for Tylenol. For me, every once in a blue moon, I have taken Tylenol without question, especially like for a sinus headache or something like that. But the irony is that I get mine in the generic state, and so I end up taking the white classic pill for acetaminophen, right? And then the pill for Benadryl, which is the diphenhydramine, right? So bum. And actually, let me go get them so that you know real quick. But basically, I feel as though they have taken them from some of the shelves, and on some shelves they have been left negligently. All right, so you got the Benadryl, right? and then just straightforward acetaminophen, right? All right. Yeah, honey, child. Anyway, okay, so now let's talk about the other situation. And I'm going to put this document, first I'm going to read it. Okay, some of you will immediately recall the fact that I and my family were at Goodwill on December 9th, 2023, and we were discriminated against. If you shop at Goodwill, you know that they don't have price tags on their garments. And effectually, I asked one of the staff members while we were shopping, because I was looking for coats for my son, if the garment that I had picked up, the coats, the jackets that I had picked up, were in fact from the right department, because one of the jackets did admittedly look like maybe an adult woman's jacket, not like an adult man's, but it was somewhere in between, so it was not easily recognizable. And I was trying to also make sure that you know, because it doesn't matter for, you know, teenagers, and especially teenage boys. They don't want to be, you know, number one, sometimes you don't even want to have to wear secondhand clothes, let alone secondhand clothes that don't match your gender, because you don't want, excuse me, to be picked on or whatever. Even though I've taught him against those things, those are just natural thought processes to have. So that's not that big of a deal. Don't come for me as it relates to any type of gender issues or whatever. It's not that. It's just that he didn't want to wear a girl's jacket, period. And that's okay. You don't have to wear, you can be like, because sometimes the style of a man's jacket, I don't want to wear a man's jacket. I like to look feminine, so it's relevant, okay? Don't make it weird. But anyway, so that's what I was asking about. And even my mother thought one of the jackets, because she's a seamstress, remember, master seamstress, retired, and she was like, I don't know, that jacket is kind of giving me, it's kind of giving me gender specific, you know, female jacket, but then it could also be unisex or for a boy, because the garment was actually constructed in a different way than stereotypically or commonly. A four-time, there's a very specific alignment, right? For, I think it's, don't give me the line, I have to ask her again. Right buttons for, I think it's right for women, left for men. Again, you can fact check it online for the fashion industry, garment construction, or whatever. But anyway, so I asked the staff member confirmed that we had picked it up from the right place, because they were both, one of them was definitely a kid's jacket. The other one was the one we questioned. But we got them both from the kids' rack. So, okay, then get up to the front to pay for them, because we were very excited that we were able to find them, because that was what we were looking for on that day. And if you know anything about us, you've been following us, you know that I am a thrift magician, okay? So we love thrifting. Y'all know that I run all this junk in my trunk. We have been in the auction network. I have run estate sales under all this junk in my trunk. We do thrifting. We upfit items, recycle, repurpose, all the things, upcycle, all the things, right? So we were very excited, because that's what we came in to look for, and we found it. Get up to the register, and the lady hits us with, what's this? And I'm like, well, it's from the kids department, you know. And then she hits me with a, you people move stuff all the time. This is from the adult section. Honey. And if you've seen the video, then you know what transpires after that. So they call the cops on me. For what? For what? For what? Because even notably the black man who I asked, who was part of the staff, that was who I asked, hey, is this in the right, you know, department? He also confirmed for them that no, she didn't move anything. She didn't move anything, and she's not lying about it. She's not trying to defraud you. She's not trying to obtain property by false pretenses. The difference between the jackets was $3.99 and $6.99. I mean, you know, I guess, you know, $3 is definitely, a $3 discount is definitely a good look, I guess. They dumb asses. You talking about like ignorant, if ignorant was a person, honey. Ooh, Lord. But anyway, ooh, I can remember that like it was yesterday. The fact that, so, and mind you, I'm just having a conversation, because, well, it's actually my mom, because my mom was like, no, I want you to still be able to get them. I don't think a lot of y'all realize what was going on completely. I've gone live and I've explained it, but it was my mom who was like, let me just talk to the lady, because I can resolve this. She was being very, very like mediator type of thing. And I was like, nah, my money black. My money, you people money. Since I'm you people, we are you people. You people steal, you people defraud, you people. Because I was like, who is you people? You know you people. That was her response. Oh, okay. Okay. If she was referring to people generally, she just would have said customers, or she would have said people. Especially after I said you people, because your average person in America knows that you people is a very offensive statement, phrase to use to refer to anyone, generally. And especially Black people, because the phrase you people is a common trope and commonly known amongst Americans and around the world as being racially offensive and intended to be racially offensive and discriminatory. Didn't we just see Eddie Murphy and Lauren London in the 2023 You People? That's how common the phrase is. So I didn't make it up. We're not gonna act like Tigress made this up. I didn't make this up. Stop it, I didn't make this up. So the reason why I'm making the emphasis on this You People line. So I filed my lawsuit on March 12th-ish, something to that effect, in Cabarrus County in Concord. The case number I've already listed online is 24CVS821. It is before the Superior Court Division. It is against Goodwill Industries of the Southern Piedmont. It was initially against Goodwill Industries, the principal company, until they clarified and they provided records showing that they do not. They basically said, we don't claim them. Let us out. Hey, Tigress, we not with them. And so I did voluntarily dismiss the action against Goodwill Industries because based on what they promulgate on their website, they are not affiliated. They are not the principal company. Shouldn't say affiliated. They are not the principal company for Goodwill Industries of the Southern Piedmont. And the only reason why I included them, obviously, is for agency. Y'all know principal, agent, like if you work for someone and you do something bad to somebody while you're on the clock or under the authority of your, under the authority of your, who's doing that? That's hilarious. But if you're under the authority of your employer, then of course you're acting under the authority of your principal. As you are agent employee and they are principal employer. But basically they were like, nah, that's not what this is. So that ain't what this is. Let us out, Tigress. Hey, Tigress. We know you're a beast. That ain't us. They ain't got shit to do with us. And so there you have it. That's done. So the people left in this lawsuit, and I didn't just mention, but of course, Concord Police Department are defendants as well. So the two defendants left in this action are Goodwill Industries of the Southern Piedmont and the Concord Police Department. Okay, that being said, Concord Police Department has answered, and they just did all these blanket denials, which is generally contemptuous. Like you just denying everything. But then on the flip side, they asked for a jury trial to, you know, adjudicate the issues. I already asked for a jury trial, boo. We go. Honey, but I compose frivolous filings. Really? Okay, and this is from the city. This is the city attorney who thought it was appropriate for him. I've already asserted Rule 38 for my jury trial demand. Like, what you talking about, Willis? What you talking about, Willis? But anyway, I still took it as, okay, at least they're willing to cooperate, and they're not going to, like, immediately be like, we want a motion to dismiss. For what? For what? Yeah, your Concord Police Department, like, they messed the fuck up big time. And I tried to bring them all the way down. Like, pump your brakes, sir. I'm not a criminal. This is not what you think it is. Just hear me out. Nah, he wanted to yell, shut up. You know, like, you need to hush. You need to be quiet. Or I'm going to take you to jail. What you going to take me to jail for, my? How you going to take me to jail for what? For what, sir? For what, sir? You can see it's still prayer and my spiritual grounding, honey. But yeah, so good Concord Police Department answered by way of the city. And then Goodwill Industries of the Southern Piedmont, they first answered by their first counsel, who has since withdrawn himself. And I have my suspicions as to why he gave his notice of withdrawal, which is actually being heard on tomorrow. And it's pretty straightforward. It's just procedural. So, of course, that will be granted. I didn't contest it. I consented to it. It's not that big of a deal. And they had to, like I told you before, and this has nothing to do with arrogance. When I feel very strongly, if I'm coming with the truth, it's factual. Like, that's what it is. So it doesn't necessarily mean, like, yeah, there is power in truth without question, but I can't just assume and take credit for all of the power of truth, because truth just is. But that's how they view it. Defendants who are not really in their right mind, and their counsel who are not really in their right mind, they see truth as an affront. Oh my God, you're telling the truth. Oh my God, you're telling the truth, you evil person. Stop telling the truth on me. And so that's pretty much what's going on. And so the counsel, who was just a one-man show, after I responded to his pleading, he was like, nah, I'm not messing with this lady. I'm good. I'm out. And he was really polite too. He's like, he Mr. McDaniel me the whole time. He didn't try none of that. She filed 162 cases in 72 counties. You dumb fucks. There's no way that I could do that. That makes no sense. And nobody has proven it because it never even happened. How idiotic do you sound? That is about the dumbest lie I've ever heard in my entire life. That's an Emily Meister lie. That's an Emily Jeffords Master white lie. White racist lie. And that's under adjudication now as well with the North Carolina Court of Appeals. Because Meister, if you remember, if you've been following me, Meister actually is the one, when I first ran for office in 2013, and me and my good girlfriend at the time, Alexandria, who is Caucasian, we went to eat at Ham's, and the server realized that I was running for office and was racist, and it went left. Like, she decided she was gonna boss up on me, and I was like, okay, well, we're not leaving no tip, honey. I need to speak to your manager. And then it went left from there. And how did I get in contact, or how did I first interact with Meister? Was Meister actually represented Ham's Restaurant. And Ham's Restaurant, I don't know if it's still up and thriving in Greensboro, North Carolina, I'm not really sure. But it was owned by Rocco Scarfone. And a lot of you already know about Rocco Scarfone. That's they stuff, honey. That's they criminal and racist history. That's they stuff. We just came to eat. Like, all you had to do was just let us pay our bill. And I'm a good tipper. Even when I don't have a whole bunch of money, I try to be mindful not to order too much food, because I used to work as a server all throughout college. So I have that consideration for servers. So all you had to do was just serve our food and give me my check and let me pay. And that's it. And all of that would have been over. But you decided that you were going to be like, I don't like you because you blackity, 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 black and proud to be black. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. And I was very popular at that time because I was pursuing my PhD, and I was with activists, and I was an ombudsman for a lot of different civil rights activist groups to keep them from violating any law when they were having protests. They would do sit-ins, all types of different peaceful protests, and they would rely upon my understanding of the law to make sure that they weren't doing anything that would be considered a violation of law, so they wouldn't be arrested. And if they were arrested, then of course I was there as a part of the organization to be an advocate on their behalf. So I'm telling you, when you hear people tell you that you're not sure what side Tigress McDaniel's on, understand, run from that person, because that's a fucking idiot. Okay, because it's well established. And actually, if you look on the Greensboro News and Record, right beside some of their bullshit is other articles, and it should tell you what they own. It's other articles right before it praising Tigress McDaniel, saying Tigress McDaniel, pictures of me on the corner with protesters at different protests that we had organized. Okay. Some of it at that time that I helped to fund gas and all this kind of stuff, use my car, let's go, let's do what we're doing. My time, my energy, all the things, okay? And there's a picture of me giving a speech, which is what I was often called to do. Like, give us be the law explainer. You know how Neil deGrasse Tyson is the science communicator, the commonly known science communicator? Well, I've always been known as the legal communicator for my communities, if you will, okay? And I'm there, and they are praising me. Tigress McDaniel a local activist, civil rights activist, is giving a lesson in law regarding what just happened to Keith Lamont. And I'm sorry, am I saying it? Somebody say it right for me if you know what I'm talking about. Keith Lamont Scott, or Keith Scott Lamont, because and then Jonathan Farrell, the football player who I think he got in a car accident and in a predominantly white neighborhood and ran to get the assistance of someone and knocked on, unbeknownst to him, a racist white person's door. And hold on, y'all. Hold on. I'm having to verify in order to keep going live. Okay, I had to do that on TikTok. But anyway, so yeah, so we were doing stuff like believe what you want to believe, but you're dumb. You're dumb if you believe that that I ain't that. You're dumb. Look it up. Go further. Like when you Google me, you're gonna get a whole bunch of my business and my social media content for my professional academia and all that kind of stuff. And then you'll get, like, I want to say it's like 5 or 6 like libelous articles, either from the Charlotte Observer or the Greensboro News and Record, or this lady who calls herself Lady Liberty, trying to be cute. She needed her 15 minutes of fame, which literally lasted less than 15 minutes. Bye, Felicia. Girl, bye. Because people call me Queen Get Her Done. Oh, we don't like her because she wants everybody to think she's the best. No, honey. This is not arrogance at all. I am the fucking best. At what I do, and I say that very humbly, but very confidently, I should be in a level of proficiency if I've been doing it for 25 years. If I've been doing something for 25 years and I ain't got better or best, come on now. I would be a fucking idiot myself. So you expect, if someone has been working on cars for 20 years, that they can't be like, I don't know what a carburetor, what is an oil pan? I don't know what that is. What's the horn? What is the starter? I don't know what a starter is. So it doesn't make any sense. So, but they just try these convoluted stories, you know, change the narrative, all this kind of stuff, and they just sound so stupid. For people who know me, or anyone with a brain that can actually just look at the facts, you'd be like, wait, hold on, this lady ain't what y'all saying. She can't, this, what you saying don't make no sense, because this right here, it's right here. It's right here. How she praised by News and Record, and everybody like, and even the judges, yes, she's so respectful. She's well respected in her professional communities. She got an award from the city from having a small business and having the most, what was the award? Social media marketing and small business marketing. Oh my gosh, she's just amazing, 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 amazing. And then as soon as I run for office, now I'm a fucking dimwit. As soon as I run for office and they know I'm anti-corruption, now I'm the dimwit. I'm the dimwit. Okay. But anyway, so what I wanted to come live and show you, because this deserves, honey, this deserves broadcasting, and this will be the last thing we discuss. So basically, you know how I will complete my thought. Let's go on, come on, because the brain is braining. Praise my creator. The brain is braining. Let's go on back up. We were talking about counsel. I'm not going to mention his name. You can pull it up yourself because these are public records. You can pull it up yourself. But like I said, he was pretty nice. So don't come for that dude who said, look, I'm gonna send this one out. Goodwill, you on your own. Y'all get you another attorney. Yeah, go and get you some other legal representation. I'm not fucking with this lady. I'm not fucking with this lady. I'm good. Mr. Daniel, you good with the withdrawal? Because I'm withdrawing the fuck out of this shit. All right, you have a good one. Let me know when the other people come in, your replacement. I'm ready. She's ready. All right, so they had to get a team. They got a team to go up against one little old me. Why they need a team? If I'm a dimwit, what you need a team for? What you need a team? Why you need 3 attorneys and some paralegals? And why? If I'm a dimwit, what's? I'm just saying, like, if I'm inviolable, if I'm inept, yeah. All right. So remember, they called me you people, right? So this attorney, the new counsel, one of the team of the new counsel, and I imagine that it took all of them to come up with this dumbass shit, this completely inappropriate, completely racially offensive, completely frivolous legal argument, because it's not legally valid at all. It is absolute hogwash, and it is contemptuous, and it violates Rule 11, because Rule 11, if some of you are not aware, Rule 11 of the North Carolina Rules of Civil Procedure, and it's consistent with all major bodies of law throughout all states. It generally is codified as Rule 11. Generally, those standard rules of civil procedure are uniform throughout the United States. So like your Rule 8 for evidence. What is it? Well, there are other codified bodies of law for evidence, but generally, because I want to say, what is it? I'm getting 603 federal wise, but anyway, the point that I'm making is that Rule 11 is the same everywhere, federal, state, and it basically says, for those who are not familiar, if you read it initially, you think, oh, well, that has nothing to do with what you're talking about, because it's generally like it's headed, I want to say like signature, signing pleadings, right? Okay. So you're like, well, how does that have anything to do with what you're talking about? Because if you get to, and I always tell people that you need to read the entirety of a statute, because that's how they get you. The ones who, and they don't, and be clear, they don't get you because they are being thorough and they are exercising efficacy and they are reading with comprehension. They're doing that because that's what they've been taught. They are, a lot of the racist attorneys or the complacent attorneys, they just copy paste from their mentors who taught them what to do. They don't know how to color, like they can only color a, what are those, color by number? They can only color by number, honey. Soon as it's like, okay, no numbers, go ahead and be creative and color on your own. Oh my God, I have to read more than a paragraph? Why? Oh my God, I can't read. Okay. All right. And this is where you get these type of arguments. Okay. All right. So, ooh, honey. So in my claims, I go into great detail and I, and I state the facts of the incident. And I even incorporate a link to the video, which has now gone viral several times, right? On different platforms, right? Including my own. I uploaded it originally to my See Tigress Run YouTube channel, but I set it on, I put the privacy settings on only accessible by link, because I knew that would be the link, and that was in preparation for the lawsuit, knowing that that would be the link that I would provide to them. And I had only done that in anticipation, again, for the lawsuit, but not knowing that Goodwill nor Concord Police Department would resolve this out of court. I really did have, even albeit minimal confidence, or like, I shouldn't say confidence, like, because it wasn't about, like, I really wasn't on this whole, like, I want this to be this full-fledged legal battle. I really wanted them, like, you see this, right? Like, we're deserving an apology. This is causing me great anxiety. It also, which is listed in my my medical notes by the doctors, that I was under a lot of stress from everything that they had done, and that exacerbated my asthma. Like, take care of some of these bills and apologize, and then we can call this, we can call this a deuces. Because I really didn't think that Goodwill was going to position themselves this way. It's Goodwill. What the fuck, Goodwill? What the fuck is wrong with you, Goodwill? Goodwill, what the fuck? You supposed to be Goodwill. What the fuck is wrong with you right now? You supposed to fire, Karen Anna should have been out the fuck. Karen Anna, get your shit today. You got to get the fuck up out of here. Get out. Then the employee, because Karen Anna was the manager. Paige, get the fuck out of here. Because you telling me that, what was it? I want to say his name was Cedric. Don't give me the line. The black man who told me that it was, who did the price check for me or whatever. Goodwill should have been like, okay, we investigated this. And it's a funny thing, because remember I showed y'all the email from Goodwill saying, hey, yo, like if it goes against our, our ideologies, We gonna check that ass. And then never said shit to me again. And I believe very strongly they didn't do that because they pulled up. They had their attorney. Their attorney was on one. They was on that bullshit. Said, oh, that's Tigress. She gonna sue us. So let's proactively act a fucking fool. Don't say nothing to her because she gonna sue us. Whatever you say, she gonna use against us in the court of law. When your dumb asses, all you had to do was do the right thing. Take care of the bills because I got $10,000 worth of bill plus over y'all giving me anxiety and having exacerbated asthma. That ain't fair. That ain't fair. You all heard my frustration. You all saw my anxiety. You saw what I experienced. So it is not strange that the next, what was it? It was like December 9th. What was it? And I had just, here's the irony. I had just only days before had exacerbated asthma with my allergies and everything and had been to the doctor within that same week. And there's a doctrine called the eggshell skull doctrine, which states that a defendant can't be like, well, she's asthmatic, so even though we stressed her out, we're not liable because she's already asthmatic. No, the law says that however you find a plaintiff, a person, you know, like that a foreseeable plaintiff, somebody that you could foreseeably harm, and then you engage them in such a way that is unlawful, and it results in their harm, regardless of their peculiar, unique vulnerability, you're still fucking liable. Okay? So how's that for the dumbass attorneys at Goodwill that said, don't say shit to her. Everybody stand behind the pole like dumbass kids. Excuse my language, y'all. Like dumbass. She won't see us if we hide right there. Don't look away. When they should have just did the right thing. And so now, and they're like, oh, and I guarantee you, because that's been like the pattern that attorneys going against me in cases have been doing. They're like, okay, all right, just use that 162 cases in 72 counties. Wink and nod at the judge, say, hey, throw this shit out. Fuck her, throw this shit out. What? That's fraud. That's public corruption at its finest. That's acts that can get a judge impeached, an attorney disbarred. What? Like, none of them would be worth my license. So why are you like, and yes, we know that they feel like, hey, we're white power. We can do what we want to do and get away with it. No, you can't, because I paid attention in law school. So you very well may get away with it in real time. Like immediately, you think, oh, we won, that bitch. Judge said dismissed. But you see, there's a such thing in law. And that standard is finite. And for this standard, there is no statute of limitations. That means that there's no time clock. Whenever it's discovered, it can be asserted. And it's called fraud. So if you, and you all know this, so you know this, and I'm saying I want you to know this. I'm not saying that you know it. I'm saying I want you to know it. That's what my colloquialism, my slang. Know this. That if you have ever had a case ruled upon by knowing fraud by the judge or by knowing fraud by the attorneys against you, it can be overturned for that fraud. The judgment that they effectuated, that they entered through fraud, can be overturned. So, I read with comprehension. Praise my creator, okay? So, it's 7 o'clock. I didn't want to stay long. Let me just show you. Let me read it. So, let's full circle. So, back to you people. This is why this is important. And you may have seen, like on Facebook, I was able to post it. Yeah, and I posted it on TikTok as well. I thought I could go live on See Tigress Run. I don't have enough following there. I have enough following here on Tigress is a Verb to go live. Okay? So y'all follow me at all my socials so that I can go live and do the things and be more impactful. Like, follow me. Like, I'm the real deal Holyfield. Like, what you thought? What you thought? Okay, anyway, so let's get to Rule 11. Buried in, because I always say buried in the statutes, okay? It's, it's just my colloquialism. It just means read the entire chapter of the statute. Don't just take, even if you're in your own, like if you're a party to a case, and even if you have an attorney representing you, make sure to look, cross-reference, like read your documents. You're entitled to read your documents, right? And when you see them reference a law, like Rule 11 or Rule 50 or Rule 60 or Rule 59 or whatever, right? You can cross-reference that with your state's body of statutes. And all you have to do is Google whatever the state is. So it could be North Carolina General Statutes, Kentucky General Statutes. They will have variations to the name of it or the title of it, like Kentucky is Kentucky Revised Code. Okay, be serious. I think it's Kentucky Revised Code. Maybe, I think California is California Code. You see what I'm saying? But there's still generally, if you Google Kentucky statutes, Illinois statutes, you're going to get to the General Assembly for your state, and then you can click on the general statutes. Okay, enough. That's my real life. I don't know why y'all think I don't know what you think I am. We were joking about that earlier. I know, I appreciate it. Maybe it comes with this kind of like this mindset. Well, she's a whole goddess. She got this. She got it on her own. Oh, I'm still human. Y'all. I'm human. I got a whole human teenager. I'm human.
Hi guys.
I know I joke and I be like I'm an alien, but I'm really not. I was born here. I really was. I was born in the hospital. Moses Code. Move. Hey, so I wanna finish. Move. Okay. I'm real. Pinch me. Tell him I'm real. Really? I shouldn't have gave him permission to do that at all. All right, go. Love you. Tell him something nice. Nice. Oh, and just so you know, he don't play by his mama. Just so you know. Just so you know, he don't play by his mama. But anyway, okay. Yes. Can I have that phone after the love? Yes, you can. All right. Okay. So basically, Rule 11, when you read further down, it says that attorneys, anyone who has composed the filing, so that can be a pro se litigant like myself. So even though I'm a Juris Doctorate, I am not yet licensed, so I can't state on record that I am an attorney, the counsel of record for myself. I am pro se, right? So it applies to anybody that's filing anything on court record, that the contents thereof should be for a legitimate purpose, right? Not for the purpose of harassing the other side, not for the purpose of harassing the attorney for the other side, the pro se litigant, not for the purpose of harassing the defendants or the plaintiffs, vice versa, not for the purpose of making insolent remarks, which is basically defamatory remarks, or any remarks that would be deemed by the court to be inappropriate about the other counsel, other side, other parties in the other side, or whatever, nor for the purpose of just delaying the proceedings. So empty, like when you make certain comments and you know that you're arguing ridiculous legal arguments, or you're making ridiculous arguments claiming that they're validly in law somewhere and it makes sense, you're teetering upon being, held for contemptuous conduct under Rule 11. Well, this meets that standard. I'm going to read it, okay? And then we're out of here. And I'll put the whole thing up on my website as well. But I already did you have pictures of it. So all you got to do is just print it out, read it, enjoy it. Go to Cabarrus County, get a whole copy of whole thing. You can have it. And if they don't give it to you, if they cutting up and not follow the law, email me, call me. My number is real. It's all real. It's just real. I'm regular. I'm regular and extraordinary. That's how I roll, okay? And I'll send you a copy. I will. I'll email it to you. It's not that big of a deal. Okay. So in defense to Goodwill employees referring to me, making this racially charged statement that we were you people, and that inferring that you people steal. Not only just implying, it was an innuendo. You people steal. Okay? In response to that, this is the new set of attorneys for Goodwill of the Southern Piedmont's defense. Specifically, under North Carolina law, acts of discrimination are not necessarily extreme and outrageous. That actually is a lie from the pits of hell. It has been determined by the U.S. Supreme Court that racism and acts of discrimination are actually extreme and outrageous. The irony is that Judge Frank Whitney, didn't y'all see that? Some of y'all may have already seen it because I posted it. I reposted it. Judge Frank Whitney, a U.S. district judge who also evidently has a history of racism against black people for both federal civil lawsuits and federal criminal actions, and has a really notorious history of sending black people to jail with extreme sentencing, which is unfair. And there is a group of actually, notably, white male lawyers who are on the right side of justice who are trying to get him impeached. So he actually is the judge on my current case against the Medical Information Bureau and Liberty Mutual for reporting false information about me, which caused my life insurance application to be denied. So anyway, but let me get back to this. So yes, discrimination is extreme and outrageous. And what I'm referring to is that Judge Whitney just ruled in favor of a defendant. Ironically, he's a white male though, who was supposedly discriminated against by Wells Fargo. He had a disability. And the irony, and I'm not taking away from, so he wasn't born with a disability. It was a disability that was, and I want to look into that more, but this disability stems from a medical condition and then cancer. And so he had, his organs were failing and he had issues and needed accommodations for the bathroom, okay? So it wasn't there are different gradations for disability, and I won't spend much time on that, but nonetheless, it was one that stemmed from a medical condition. So a medical condition is not necessarily a disability. It's not necessarily a handicap, if you will. But anyway, but he found, ironically enough, that for that white man, it was extreme, discrimination was extreme and outrageous to the tune of $22 million. So why wouldn't racism or racial discrimination also be extreme and outrageous? Like, y'all play, y'all stupid. Cole, y'all stupid. But anyway, so let me keep going. Particularly where the discrimination takes the form of an isolated discriminatory statement rather than persistent harassment. Mere allegation of racial discrimination is insufficient to form the basis for a claim for emotional distress. Nope, that's not accurate. That's not accurate. One event can lead to emotional distress. One anxiety attack constitutes emotional distress. So, and basically what they've done is they made these convoluted misrepresentations of case law. And my response was something, my response, and then I signed it, cold skin tigers. You're gonna see why. Y'all probably like, what, cold skin? Let me keep going. In fact, the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals, which is so ironic because he's talking about the federal courts and the U.S. District Court. So he doesn't even realize, you know, like I have federal cases, and I know your friends. I know your friends, so all I gotta do is just, but your friends said, you saying this, but your friends in the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals, they said this. Yeah, dude. Anyway, while affirming the dismissal of an intentional infliction of emotional distress claim under Virginia law, where we at? Found that the phrase "you people" in the context of intentional infliction of emotional distress claim based on racial discrimination did not rise to the level of outrageous and intolerable conduct. And he's lost upon this because it wasn't just "you people" and then me and my family took our black money and left and we were allowed to leave in peace. You called us "you people," racially profiled us, called the cops on me or us, and reported falsely that there was some type of criminal act going on, albeit trespassing, albeit stealing, albeit the suspicion of a crime, the commission of a crime. None of it occurred because, number one, at no time, and it wouldn't have been appropriate because we were leaving. If you remember from the video, we were leaving. So there was no point where I was like getting testy with him. You see me say pretty much, we got you, I got you. Understood, Karen Anna. I didn't say Karen Anna at the time. I said, Ma, let's go. Good, cool. You keep them. They're your jackets now. Y'all have a good one. And I bounce. And on the way out, you see what I'm saying? That's the difference. So he, like, sir, your argument is stupid. Your argument doesn't hold water because they didn't just say "you people" and that was the end of it. Falsely reporting a crime motivated by racial profiling against the person that you are falsely reporting a crime about is very much so outrageous and an infliction of emotional distress in extreme. Okay? All right. Then he talks about, in the case Gators, the Fourth Circuit found that a popular country singer's comments during a show, I can't make this up, y'all, in which she asked a black crowd controller to stand and said, if you people don't know what coal looks like, here is someone who knows what coal is all about. And added, black is beautiful, ain't it, honey? Did not rise to the level of outrageous required to create tort liability. Tort is just a negligence. It's a specific intent wrongdoings. That's what torts are, okay? They entail specific intent, all right? The court reasoned that while the comments were possibly carelessly insensitive to its potential, hold on, for her, they involved no more than at most the kind of inconsiderate and unkind act that the tort of outrage does not encompass. He is comparing a woman, number one, which is still like, it's like when white people don't, white racist people, they be showing, like your slip is showing, you know how people in church tell you, girl, your slip is showing. Her racism was showing, and like, you don't know how to control your mouth. You don't have tact. It is inappropriate for you to, even if you don't feel like you are races to your heart, it is inappropriate for you to call up a black man and say to a crowd, and like put this man in front of this entire crowd and say, if y'all don't know what cold looks like, this is what it looked like. Look at his beautiful skin. This is what cold look like, y'all. What the fuck is he talking about? I can't make this up. This was the defense. So I have tagged Goodwill and posted this everywhere. Goodwill, is this, did you approve what your counsel said? Because this is frivolous. This is racially charged and racially offensive. What does this woman, this country singer, bringing this man up on stage to say, you people, because first of all, let's be clear, she's saying if you people don't know what cold looks like, she's referring to the crowd. That's very clear that she's referring to the crowd. And then referring to the black man as cold. None of this argument is relevant to this case. The you people was directed at us, and it's her. The you people was stated twice, not just once. And then I inquired, who exactly is you people? Who exactly is you people? She made it very clear she was talking about us black folk who she felt were going to steal her merchandise or otherwise defraud the cashier and tell them they got it from a different spot in the Goodwill store so that they could save $3 motherfucking dollars. I have definitely been a broke law student. I know hand to my creator. It was something else. And yes, I did get money, from federal student aid and all that kind of stuff. But by no stretch of the imagination was I rich during law school. Please do not get that twisted. But I could afford to pay $6.99 for my son's jacket. That's why I go to Goodwill. I love it. Here is your set. I'm excited to give you $7 for this jacket. Here is your $7. Let's do a dance. I got the jacket for $7. I got the jacket for $7. And that was me. If you remember, if you look at the video, we was amped. I was so excited. We got the jacket for $3.99. We got the jacket for $3.99. Go back and look at it. It shows you. So if they had actually just been like, no, it's not in the right area, that was a mistake, it's not that big of a deal, but that particular jacket is going to be $6.99. Here's your $7. We still won. We got the jacket for $7. We got the jacket for $7. That's like, for a single mom, are you hearing me? A whole really nice, not tattered, like in great condition jacket that my son actually likes. If y'all know about Goodwill and the shopping in Goodwill, they do not have a lot of items for teenage boys. Let's be real, okay? They had a shitload for infants, and they have endless supply for adult women, maybe not so much for adult men, but after your boy, after he gets in past adolescent, Goodwill can't help you. You got to buy new, or you got to get real creative, and you got to join a whole bunch of loyalty programs. I done it. You got to join all the rewards programs from Nike and Adidas. You got to go to the Concord Mills. You got to go to the any of the outlets. You got to go to Gaffney outlets. You gotta go to. You can't even really get nothing from Once Upon a Child no more. You stuck. You gotta go to Walmart. You gotta make it do what it do. You gotta go to Old Navy. You can't even really go to Children's Place no more. Children, after they become adolescents, and then when they become a teenager, if y'all have boys and you know what I'm talking about, you on your own. You got, thank goodness for Primark, honey. You got to get real creative, and you got to be on. You got to be clear of mind. Clear of mind. Shoes and all that kind of stuff. You got to go to the flea market. You got to go to Miller Flea Market and go to the sneaker booth. I know this life. I can't find no shoes for my son under $80. I think we did it one time at Nike, and I can't find those shoes are so wonderful. They're the slide-ins that pop in. They have that really nice arch support and everything. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And I want to say we got them for like $60. He's grown out of them. He liked them so much he was still wearing them. I was like, Asa, your feet. I can see the print of your toes about to punch out a hole in the front of the shoe. We got to. Went back to Nike. They don't have them in his size. He's in a man's shoe size now. Pray for me. Pray my strength, okay? Pray my strength. But anyway, so what in the fuck is he talking about? If you people don't know what coal looks like, here is somebody who knows what coal is all about. If I were this man, a black crowd controller, that is one of those like that is so racially insensitive. And even if he's like, well, that didn't rise to the level of outrageousness, so evidently the black crowd controller very likely sued. That's not what occurred in our case. Not only were we racially profiled, and they made racially insensitive and insolent remarks, they then called the police on me. We weren't trespassing because we weren't asked to leave because we left. We were voluntarily leaving. Like, girl, we good. We good, Karen Anna. I see you. My money's not green, my money's black. You keep those jackets. And it's so funny because like I gave her the jackets. And as you see, if you look back at the video, the way she's holding on to the jackets is like it's mad crazy. Like she thought I was gonna snatch them and run. Girl, something ain't right with you. That's why I say racism is a disease. Something ain't right with you, boo-boo. You can see the distance between me and her from the camera angle. I was out. It was my mom who was like, okay, no, I really want Asa to get these. You know, because she's being like super grandma. I want Asa to get these because Asa was feeling it. If you remember from the video, Asa was excited about the jackets. It's me that's like, I'm with the, my money's black. I'm out. You got a problem? Keep that shit. Her money's black. It's not green. My money's black. Bye-bye. So it was my mom who was like, no. Let's just wait. Let's talk it through. Blah, 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 blah. So this is not the same. No, stop. That's not funny. But this is not the same as what we experienced. Then the officer not even wanting to listen. He didn't even want to hear he had already decided that I had been validly reported on. And I had requested the 911 recording or the communications that they, when they called, and I can just about imagine it, and we know that they're hiding something because they emailed me back saying, oh, we don't have that information, and referred me to another sub-department in communications. That department still hasn't even gotten back to me yet. We don't have that recording. All we have is when they initially pick up. Well, give me that. We don't have that. I thought you just said you had that, but you don't have the rest of it. So why you playing games? So who knows what she said on that phone call to the police? Because the police showed up ready to lock me up. So we know that they said something because there was no yelling. If there were yelling and all that kind of stuff, the officers would have rushed in much faster. He would have rushed Asa. Okay, that's enough.
Yeah, I was losing my balance.
No, that's enough. He would have rushed in and he would have arrested me if I was doing something that merited an arrest. He would have done that. But that's not what happened. You see me on camera. I'm literally walking out because I'm like, Mom, let's go. I'm out. And then I said, oh, wow. Because I see the officer. And I'm like, because I'm black, unfortunately, and I know this life. So I'm like, did they just call the cops on me? Really? And then you see the rest. So that situation was extreme and outrageous. Even though I still feel that it was extreme and outrageous to embarrass this man in front of this country singer's crowd. Can you imagine how that man felt? It was extreme and outrageous. Sometimes the opinings or the opinion of a court, especially if the ruling is by a racist judge, are hogwash. And case law is not statutory law. Case law is case by case. It is relevant and it is specific to whatever case and the circumstances of that case. And he tried to use the circumstances of that case to apply to this case. Sir, you're an idiot. You're a complete idiot, and your racism is showing. So that's what we're dealing with. And that's why I'm signing all of my pleadings from here on out as cold skin tigress. Because what the fuck? What the fuck, Goodwill? What the fuck? Is that what you think of all of us? Is that what you think of all of us? So, if you feel so led, share this and tag Goodwill SP. That's the Goodwill of the Southern Piedmont. Goodwill, S is for the Southern, P for Piedmont, GOODWILLSP. And ask them, did you approve the council's arguments that you people is a compliment? Because I ain't never heard nobody say that you people still is a compliment. You people have beautiful skin. Okay. It's still racially charged and racially offensive, but you people still, and you people have beautiful skin like coal. Neither is good, but you people still, that's fucked up. I mean, well, they're both fucked up, but this is, you people still. I'm out. And the brain is braining. The love is loving. The law is lawing, because she paid attention in law school. Show me your support. Show me your solidarity. I need it right now, especially from us beautiful black people. I am not, even though affectionately I am a one-woman show, I'm human, and I would love to have your support. That's the reason why I also said, I want to clarify that as well. That's the reason why I didn't want it to go on to BI for carries. I am not giving permission. I want to say that once again. I put it in writing, and this is legal notice. I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm serious about this because I did not give him permission to put it on his platform. I noticed that it appears that he might be doing good in the hood, giving out money to the homeless and covering his face. I commend him for doing that because too many people give out money, and of course they're trying to get all the face time, right? So that they're not doing it for the right reasons. They're not doing it with complete love in their heart. They're doing it for the likes. They're doing it for the follows, right? So I respect him in that regard, but he is getting paid from the news, quote unquote, that he reports on his platform. And right now, like, that don't feel too good when the irony is that my platform just got demonetized for going against community guidelines or whatever, and that I had posted the video. How is me posting the Goodwill video on my platform going against community guidelines, but then he posted BI, and maybe if BI is watching this, maybe he can help. If you want to do some good, help get my account back into monetization, because that's what I deserve. Because you're getting monetized, you're enjoying getting paid off of my video, upwards to like 300,000 views and counting, okay? And I'm financially strapped. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Make it make sense. So if you really want to do good in the hood, I challenge BI, PHAKATI, something to that effect. Y'all know who I'm talking about. He's viral. Then help a sister out, okay? Because I'm over here struggling, and I get demonetized on my own content, my own IP, and I'm the lawyer, like, yo, like, and because I was conflicted, like, should I go after his ass? And I was like, nah, because I feel like he's got good intentions, so I'm gonna let it be. But don't post no more of my stuff on your platform without looking out for me. Because right now you're benefiting money-wise from me, and my household needs that money. My household needs that money. My household needs that money. Okay? So the people that I have approved to repost this, because they're not getting paid off of me like that, they're not, because they just looked out for me and made sure that it was shared and everything, and that it was publicized. Indisputable, I appreciate you, by Dr. Richard. And Big Cam I appreciate you. Please continue to share and support, and thank you so much for already doing it. I also tagged Shop the Hood. Y'all know how I feel about her. She always, honey, I could just repost her entire platform. All channels, all platforms, just repost the whole thing. That's how I feel about her, okay? And then I also tagged Now This, because they're generally, on the right side of justice, and they're not really getting, like, they're not trying to come up, like, they're not, like, benefiting greatly money-wise from the content that they repost. They just really want to make sure to give all of us a voice and bring awareness to the everyday occurrences of injustice that we don't get to see as readily prior to this modern age of social media. So those are the only people that I've given permission to, like, really repost on their platforms, and like, really like that. But I'm giving you all permission, of course, to share it, but don't do it in the form of, like, you making money, or kick me something back, because, like, I just almost died. We literally were discriminated against. I had exacerbated asthma due to anxiety from that situation. Then the rest of December, go back and look at my content. You'll see the rest of December was a health nightmare for me. Then January, then February 23rd, that was it. I almost died. And I've been recovering. Like, I don't know what y'all thought. Like, thank God that I was like, literally, here's the wild part. Literally, while I'm intubated, I had received my tax refund. My tax refund got me by for, like, the next 2 months after returning home. Thank God. Like, thank God. But, like, this is real shit. This is real life shit. I don't know what y'all thought. I don't know what y'all thought. Ain't no millionaire. I don't know what you thought. I don't know what you thought. I'm a whole goddess, but that's like colloquialisms. I'm really not a god. I know that. I know I'm not a god. Damn. Anyway, so woosah. Signing off from Cold Skin Tigress. Cold Skin Tigress. Cold skin tigress.
Cold skin tigress.